All right, so we can get started.
All right,
Well,
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion that we move Articles 2 and or Agenda Item 2 and Agenda Item 3, making 2 the first one and 3 the second one, and then go back in order.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, all right, then let's get started.
Chief?
All righty.
Thank you very much. Thanks for putting me on the agenda.
Hmm.
Working in cooperation with the HR department, we did a lot of work on this. Put this together, asked for the support and funding for the finance committee and the board of selectmen. I'd like to present a new position for the town of Lincoln.
Thanks.
It's a part-time position, parking enforcement clerk. And the purpose of the position, just go over a little bit of it. Parking enforcement clerk patrols the areas of the town of Clinton to ensure that motor vehicles are parked in accordance with municipal and state parking codes and regulations. Position enforces the appropriate codes, laws, regulations pertaining to on-street, off-street public parking within the town of Clinton, with special attention to the area of downtown business district and municipal parking lots. Issue citations where violations of parking codes are identified. It'll come under the supervision of the police department. I envision the position to be a community-wide position with a lot of input coming from community economic development, the local business owners downtown especially, through other departments, DPW, and other agencies in town, or other organizations in town that aren't related to the town, like the Chamber of Commerce that has input with some parking problems that we can address, and we can direct the attention of this person who gets a position to those matters. We're looking at it at 16 hours a week right now. The hours could be somewhat flexible so that we have attention to the problems when the problems come to our attention. I don't want somebody that works every Monday and Wednesday. Well, then there's not going to be any violations on Monday and Wednesday, but there will be on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Right.
So if we can kind of mix that up and mix the hours up a little bit. So we're going to look for somebody that's a little bit flexible in the position. And I think we're going to painstakingly go through the process of looking for the right candidate, because I think it does take the right candidate to fill the position too.
Right.
Somebody that's proactive and doesn't mind getting out there walking and writing the tickets and being engaged, and somebody that does engage the community, has the personality and can talk to people without, sometimes they could be in situations where they need to de-escalate a little bit, where people aren't very happy with them. And that's where the police would come and back them up if it got to that point. But I think with some conversation, some problems or some situations could be de-escalated with some verbal tactics and just some conversation and information sharing. So that's where we are in the position. I was budgeted $20,000 for the position, which will pay it, we're gonna keep it part-time, so obviously the hours will be under 19. We're looking at 16 hours a week, but if they're targeting an area and they work 17 hours one week or 18, we're good with that too, and we should have the money to cover all that. We're looking at some devices. Right now, we do everything by hand, and I did some demos and some Zoom meetings with some companies, but it's been a couple of years, and I know prices change and technology changes, so that's something we could look at in the future to make that job even a little bit easier.
Mm.
But I think it's long overdue. It addresses a lot of problems in town.
Right.
I think it frees up the police. It doesn't take the obligation away from them for parking enforcement, but it's a tool to add to the police department to help us out. Not to shed our responsibility, but to add a tool and a person to the position to help us out.
I agree.
Chief, can you hire a retired police officer? Is that?
Yes,
I'm
I
not
called
asking you-
around and a lot of the wording I got
Yeah.
and some of the inspiration, I called around, and one town comes to mind is the town of Hudson. It's very similar to Clinton, and where they've revitalized over the last 10, 15 years, and they did a great job. They have a parking enforcement clerk who actually, when they put the job out, a retired sergeant put in for the job. He's very aggressive and active over there, to the point where they're changing the 2 hour maybe to 3 hour. Those are things that we need to address too, that come down the line. I've been in numerous parking meetings and traffic committee meetings, and kind of the same subjects come up. So, and I know there's a lot of work being done on High Street still, with the Strand Theater possibly open, the Bailey Building, the old bank building possibly being something, the old timers hopefully being renovated. I'd like to see all these as a member of the community and as a police chief. I'd love to see all these businesses thriving, but that will bring in even an increased traffic and parking problems. So I'd like to get ahead of it. But yeah, we could put it out, and if somebody retired or somebody, we looked at the pay structure too, with what they pay, and working with HR, kind of figured on where we're gonna be at, low 20s an hour.
And it wouldn't affect the retirement rate.
It wouldn't
because it's under that.
No, there's no benefits as long as they earn.
So
If it, I don't know everything about the retirement, but I know they can only work so many
Right.
hours and earn so much.
Right.
So
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
they should be under the threshold.
So Chief, this is already in your budget for it
Yep.
to be funded.
This
So
was
this is a matter of
approved.
just,
I
okay.
had mentioned I'd send something to Mr. Bailey and some people, and I didn't really go into all this until I knew I had the approval
Sure.
and funding.
Uh-huh.
So I presented it to
Okay.
the finance committee, select board joint meeting, and I got approval, and it was approved at the town meeting in
Mhm.
June. So
Okay.
we're good to
Okay.
go. The money's been there since July.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the position that Chief Coyne has put forth so he can go about hiring for this position for a parking enforcement clerk.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
At the
Second.
grade-
Okay.
Not at the grade C that it's on here, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
I second
Okay.
that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay,
Excellent,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Like I said, everybody's been very supportive of the position.
great.
Been calmed down, the select
Good.
board, and now you, and I greatly appreciate it, and I greatly appreciate all the help from.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
My
Just
big
I'm sure
overdue.
that that person knows that these 5 did it. So when you're handing out these tickets,
Yes.
I don't care if the camera.
He's already working it.
Yeah.
5
I
minutes in
didn't,
the
yeah,
front.
I didn't put my
Yeah.
hand in the air, but just,
Good luck, Brian.
And
Thanks.
parked legally, so. Yep, thanks.
I'll give you my license plate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for moving me up.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
All right, so next item.
Executive assistant to the,
So we're gonna move that and
Yeah.
then go to
yeah,
staff.
3 was 2.
Yep. The executive assistant to the town administrator. So this,
Is this revised?
so we're looking for approval of the job
The
description.
job description, it's a revised job description brought to current, so that we can
Okay.
begin the recruitment process.
Oh, good. So it is revised a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very revised. It is brought to
Oh, good.
current. There's a lot, it's more broadly written so that it's not we're not pigeonholing people into specific duties and roles.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
allows for general administrative oversight as well as the EA duties in the office to be able to assist the town administrator and the ATA once that gets hired.
That's
okay, great.
That's
Good,
great.
good.
Thank you.
It doesn't say
Huh.
on here, but it'd still be at the grade E, correct?
Correct. There is no change in classification.
No, I just didn't see it in there.
Um, So is it possible to put the class?
We're doing that
applications
within
on
the job descriptions as we're updating.
So everything on here will just formulate over into the new job
It
description.
will just have a new
format.
line at the top.
Okay, perfect.
I'll make a motion to accept the job description of the executive assistant so they can move forth with hiring for said position.
I'll second the
Okay.
motion.
All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
Thanks, Ray.
good, awesome. Okay, next item on the agenda, moving up, back up to item number 1. If we could just have a quick status on each of the open positions, starting with the assistant town administrator.
So I met with the town administrator and the chair of the select board
I got,
about about a week ago.
Mhm.
Or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, time's melding. We did prepare an updated draft of the job description. And we did discuss what this position should look like and what this position should be classified at. The next step is to do, because there's a difference of opinion as to whether or not this is classified correctly, we're pulling comps to present to the select board for them to decide on what they would like to present for a classification before we bring the job description forward.
So just a quick question regarding the job description, because we had talked a way back that we wanted it similar but not identical to the town administrator position. Is that the route that?
Well, the
that's
select
going?
board did make that call. They wanted it to be paralleled with
Great.
the town administrator's job, but also the input of the town administrator
Right.
to include special projects and whatnot.
Excellent.
So the job description is written as such,
Good.
kind of drawing from what we have on the current TA job and what we've pulled from other town administrator positions
Great.
that we've researched, but I'm sorry, assistant town administrator positions. So it is up to par.
Good.
It's not finalized, but
Mhm.
there is a very,
Right.
very updated
That's
version.
good.
So do we have a timeline
I
on
was
when we're
just-
going, when it's going to be finalized?
So right now, the holdup is pulling of the comps in the capacity of the Human Resources Department. We're
Okay.
hoping to have comps ready next week, but we're looking toward the end of the month.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So by our next meeting, then we should possibly see some type of job description.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
But it is in progress. It has not stalled. So that's
And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not pointing any fingers. It sounds like the holdup in it is at the select board. So, because they're the ones that have to decide. And I know we talk about this all the time. We waste a lot of hours on it. They're the ones that have to decide what this position looks like.
Mhm.
Till they, and I'm not saying they're holding it up. I don't mean like they're dragging their feet intentionally, but till they come up with what the wording is and figure out what they want to pay for it, we can't really do anything on it. I mean, that's kind of what.
Well, are they waiting for comps from you, right?
Well, that's correct. So the select board did hold up the position, not so much because they wanted to hold it up,
Right, I didn't
because
just
they
hold it up.
felt they wanted the new town administrator to actually fill their own office.
Yeah.
With the town administrator staying on until the end of June,
June.
they decided to move forward with
Right.
the-
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what
Good.
kicked
Right.
this process back.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't meaning it, I probably worded it, I didn't mean it intentionally.
No, I didn't think you
Just
were
worded
at all.
We're just waiting on, I guess is the best way to say it.
Nope. Okay. So.
But I feel like, excuse me, that they finally made a decision that they're not going to wait. And, we do have somebody in that office temporarily until we find is a replacement. So the description is almost finalized and we're just waiting for comps to come in is how I understand it.
We're waiting for comps to come in. A description has been proposed.
Yeah.
As far as whether or not the select board has actually voted on that description, that's the other.
And how long ago was it presented to them?
I believe they discussed it. Excuse me. I believe they discussed it in their last meeting last week.
Okay.
But I don't think they went in depth into the job description.
Mhm.
Okay. Do they have a meeting tomorrow night? Do you know?
I believe it's next week.
Okay. Oh, next week. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Good.
Frank. Good.
All right,
Good.
good. That's progress. Then the next item is executive assistant, where we just approved the job description, so that is ready to
We're
go
ready to
to
recruit.
recruit. Awesome. So and then next item, production.
Oh, I'm
manager.
sorry.
Oh, that's
Just to go back to the assistant town admin, when's that going to be posted?
Once the position
Gotcha.
description is approved here
Mhm.
before this board and
Right.
and
Oh,
classified.
we don't have it yet.
No,
No, that's what I'm
Correct.
saying.
the selectmen are waiting for.
Oh, we just talked
Yeah.
about that. Never mind. Got it.
Stay with us.
It's okay. It's already been a long.
So there's a lot of assistants in town, and assistant, an
Yeah.
executive assistant,
Right.
assistant, town administrator,
All these
administrator.
vacations
Come
you're
on.
taking.
Sorry. I need more. Sorry, Ray.
No worries.
Okay,
The-
production manager.
The production manager, my understanding is that it's in the interview phase.
Okay, great.
Can I just, and I'm sorry, because I was wasting time over here and I apologize. When you said now that we've approved that, will that post this week?
If yes,
Yes, okay.
yes, but that is my hope is to post. it
No,
next
and
week.
I'm not looking for a timeline, and we're all set now. There's nothing
Yeah,
else left for us.
nothing's holding us up. We're ready to recruit.
Okay.
You're speaking about the EA specifically,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, production manager.
Production manager is on interview stages. I have reached out to the director and have offered support to help
Oh,
move this
great.
along. So we'll see what goes from there.
Do you know if there were a lot of applicants?
It wasn't a very large pool. It's very specialized, not just the way that
course.
it's written, but of course we want value.
Exactly.
right.
Yep.
That's where we're at with that. The permitting coordinator, we just had a retirement. Technically the retirement is not effective until the end of this week. However, that's already been in the recruitment phase.
Mhm.
The position just closed on Friday and we'll be starting the screening process relatively soon.
Okay,
So
great.
no change to that description or anything?
No, for in the interest of recruiting and to be timely.
I
At
didn't
this
feel
time,
anything else would change it. Which is
yeah. I mean, there are some things that the new commissioner may want to change.
Right.
Right now, he needs to staff his office, so that was his priority.
Okay, great.
Mhm. Okay, so next, recreation coordinator?
That's still on hold. My understanding is that the director of Parks and Rec was going to approach her board, which is their appointing authority, to get their support to change this to in some sort of administrative support. That would fall under the same classification, so we wouldn't have to worry about funding, but we do have to worry about a job description crossing our paths. So that's what we're waiting for. I have made inquiries, status checks, and it's always been a matter of time. So I don't know where they're at with that process, whether they've drafted something, whether they've approached their board.
Mhm. Okay, good.
The program coordinator council on aging was just posted. So that's going to run with a preference deadline for October 3rd. That means anyone that applies on or before October 3rd will get preference in the screening process. If that pool fails, we'll move on to the second pool, anyone who applies afterwards.
Mhm.
And then missing from our list is the HR coordinator.
Right. I
Yeah.
was gonna ask about,
So we're just waiting I've requested additional space so I can put someone in the office.
Right.
So I'm just waiting on the status of that
Mhm. And do
before I
you,
can post. And then we're trying to figure out logistics on being able to post this position in the way that they wanted us to post it, given the funding restrictions that we have.
right, right.
Whose purview does that fall under for them just to decide on assessing the space that we have in the building? And then where a potential move would come from? Like, 'cause I imagine that shouldn't be up for you to advocate for yourself. Someone
Right.
should say, hey, you're right. Like, we have this office that's bigger. We can move said person out of that office and two people into this office. Like, who are you relying on to do that for you?
The town administrator.
Okay.
I made the request to him. I did check with facilities to see what our options would be. They
Mhm.
said we need approval from the town administrator for us to be able to move forward with any changes. And that could include even construction in some larger suites to be able to include a separate office for confidential conversations.
Yeah.
so how long have we been waiting for this?
This discussion just happened about 2 weeks ago.
Just so you know, just in history, when I started here 10 years ago, the office you're in wasn't there. That was all what Phil Duffy's was one big
Right.
office, and they built a wall to put facilities in there. So that's
Oh.
yeah. In the last 10 years, they've just kind of run out of spot. And then when they got HR, they moved, and then they took a small conference room. They made that the assistant town administrators. That's why there's a table out in the hall. So
So I don't know if we have any say, but,
We don't.
it's 2 weeks too long, as far as I'm concerned. Like, we need to get, it shouldn't be taking us this long to get some space. And we shouldn't be waiting to post it and get the, position approved for the space.
Well, it's not just the space. We're also looking to see what we can do with this funding where we're not holding a full-time position and not being able to renew it come July 1st. So we're
Can we
trying to
go
figure
back
that
to the finance committee on this?
No, unfortunately, not until next year. They won't, they're not able to extend
Yes.
salary line mid-year.
So what, how much was the funding for this?
8,000.
Yeah.
For 48,
40.
40, and this is for a part-time position or full-time?
The hope was that I would wait until the latter half of the year to hire a full-time employee and it would fund it. So I would wait to hire someone in January, hopefully in a temporary basis through the end of the year with hopes for a renewal for July 1st, in hopes that I get the additional funding to keep this person on full-time.
So if you wait till that time period and they want benefits, has that all been factored in?
It would have to be. But right now, our salary lines are not budgeted with the fringe benefits. That comes out of a different fund.
A different one. Mhm.
So it's a full-time position at $40,000 for HR coordinator or whatever we're gonna call it with benefits? Yeah,
Yes. I mean, we haven't we classified the position as a D. We can hire it part-time or full-time and just as needed.
I mean, at this point, I think I think we look for somebody part-time just to get somebody in here.
I mean, that's
Um,
what was,
Right, because you need somebody.
I do,
mean,
but I can't accommodate them in my space. They won't work in my office. I'll kick them out all the
we'll
time.
find space for them. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, maybe we could ask the facilities guy to come in here and we could ask him where there's space all in this building. We're talking about,
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I think Ray's trying to hit on it. It's something he talked to the town administrator about. I mean, it only happened a couple weeks ago. No, I mean, it's really not it's nothing for us to concern.
I understand that, Brenny, but
No, no.
everything we do in this building takes way too much time. And you know, I'll go around it again. If I'll go and have this conversation again about how it takes too long to get stuff done. We asked the town administrator before we even hired Ray that we needed somebody in that office to help them in order for that person to be successful. And here we are again having this conversation. And now it's about space. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I think emotionally, I don't disagree with you, Ellen, but I don't think facilities and space requisition is under our purview. So I don't think we can,
No,
we
it's
can
not.
we can voice our displeasure and just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
um,
But I agree with you. I mean, listen, it shouldn't take much more than a conversation tomorrow and say,
Well,
you're going here.
I guess that's my frustration. Right? As you can see, I'm very frustrated.
Gotcha.
so
Because we should be able to make this work. The town administrator should be able to make this work. Somebody should be able
Now,
to,
Ray.
select board.
is the job description ready for this position?
Yes, it was approved last meeting.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I
So
thought
we're good.
we did.
So it's just, no.
No, and I'm just saying, I'm gonna keep myself up. I
Yeah.
don't know what we've done so many of them.
No, I knew that. I was just
Yeah.
reiterating it. So it's a matter of the space.
It's a matter of
So-
space.
I think-
And being able to keep that person in my office. I mean, there are options. I've researched past personnel board actions to try to see what I can do about filling this position out of class. And we don't have anything that says that I could fill this position at a lower class, say with an intern, to at least help with the minor administrative duties throughout the year, is to not have to offer somebody a benefited position and then strip it from them. And then somebody that could kind of work in and out of my office in the treasurer's office with the personnel files down there. And it's just a matter of whether or not we can make any exceptions to the bylaw. There's nothing in our bylaw that says that we can't fill a position out of class. There is prior memos to to give a stipend for positions that fill duties of higher classified roles, but that's it. So I'm going to check with town council to see that if I can approach the board with the request to hire this position out of classification. If there's an exception made by the board outside of the bylaw and it can stick, then I will make that proposal to the board.
Okay. Anything at this point to see if we can move forward somehow on this would be really helpful for you and the town. This is not about me. This is not about anybody on the
Nope.
board. This is about doing the right thing for your organization and the town.
And space shouldn't preclude us from posting
No,
the
it
job
shouldn't.
posting. It could take you a month to find something.
Right.
So we're not going to wait a month till someone decides, hey, you're going to sit there. Let's put the pressure on them, post it, and you're going to find a spot for them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's
All right.
a benefit to the employees of the town.
Right. Exactly.
I agree. And
It's a benefit to
selfishly,
everybody.
it's a benefit to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I am taking action on it, and unfortunately, it is a priority, but it's not the only one. Everything seems to be moving at the same time.
Sure.
But
We
it,
understand that.
it's definitely not backburnered. It's a daily conversation,
Okay.
at least with myself.
Right.
Fine.
Thank you. Any other positions, Ray? No?
No, at this time, no.
Okay. All right, so we will move on to item number 4, position description review, Council on Aging. That's on hold?
So we put that on hold simply because there are couple of steps that were missed. One of them being that it wasn't approved by
Finance.
their appointing authority.
Oh,
So we want to make sure that they're on board with that before we approve a job description. They're not on board.
True.
But the
Yeah.
other part of it was those red line updates that we received at the last meeting were done on older job descriptions. So I did ask them to take it back and apply them to the newer ones. So I'll work with them on the verbiage and the language on that so that when they send that over and get the approval of their appointing authority, it'll be all set by the time it gets here.
Great. Okay, good.
yeah, no, she did a good job on that.
And then I think we also briefly discussed last meeting having all of our position descriptions updated.
Correct.
Mhm.
In the same format.
Yes, in the same format and to reflect current times.
Correct.
I think it's more of a matter of trying to determine how we wanted to do that. If it was going to be a townwide initiative for our non-union employees or non-union positions, but also kind of designating some time additional to the monthly meetings to be able to
Yep.
meet and actually discuss the job descriptions, perhaps maybe to meet just to discuss these
Correct.
job descriptions.
You know, Ray, and I agree with you. And I know we've talked about this a lot. Is I think it is simple. I think we should just take, like you said, that whatever format you want, send it out to the department heads and say, you know, again, I'm not saying to give everybody a timeline because we don't know what everybody else does day to day. But if in fact there is going to be a salary adjustment or a new grid or whatever you want to call it, salary study down the line, it's, you know, you can't complain later on as a department and say, hey, I wasn't rated properly if you didn't, I said, I'm not speaking to you, I mean collective view, if they don't do it. So if we say, hey, you know what, we'd like to take a good look at your job description. These are the description to be used too. Two things. One, to post for future jobs. Two, if there is a salary adjustment, then this will be, and then, you know, say if you could, as soon as you get these back, that we could review them and then you'd have them on file and you wouldn't have to keep doing this every time. Look at how many you have to do every time they post a job. So it's only to the benefit of all non-union employees.
And mandatory, that's all in the same format. not
Yes.
Older job descriptions sent.
Yeah,
out.
just,
We'll send a format. We'll ask for red lines and work to finalize the format together. I don't think it makes sense to have, we have so many formats. And I was asked, you know, we're changing the format. And my response was, what is the format?
Well, some of them are so old that you think, but here, so once you get hired, till you leave, nobody seems to worry about it. To
Right.
be honest with you.
Just trying to drive to consistency.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And not only that, if the intent is to run a salary study,
Yeah.
you cannot have old job descriptions in different formats. for
Right.
Each job, like,
See the results of that.
right.
I've spoken to some department heads who are ready to rewrite these job descriptions based on the need of the department.
Right.
Good.
And most of them seem to be on board and ready to do that. What I can do for our next meeting is come with a kind of proposed timeline or proposed process
Yep.
to be able to do this if it hasn't started at that point yet, because we're moving things steadily along on our end, on my end. And we can kind of take it from there. The job description that you see for the parking enforcement clerk, that format is what we're looking
Yeah,
to
that seems the newest. Yeah, I agree with you. That's the newest.
to go through and go across. But I'd also like to try to see in our bylaw review going forward if we could find some sort of flexibility for HR to approve minor changes to job descriptions for posting, because that does hold us up,
Sure.
especially when we're looking at roles like this. So it's just something for consideration. in the
Makes
future.
sense, absolutely.
No, yeah. All right, anybody else have anything to add to the discussion for the job descriptions?
No.
No, Ray, just thanks for the progress. Appreciate it.
Okay, very good. So the next item is the fiscal year 27 personnel bylaw review. Again.
Particularly part 5, right? I think that was the
Yeah,
thing.
I think we were chunking them off in parts.
Yeah.
And we
We
agreed to
were,
get part 5 done today.
And I thought we had already finished part 5.
I think when we went back and looked at the last one that we were comfortable with moving through, we got to 5 and it kind of said, pick it up from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So 5 has a lot of red in it.
Yeah, and I don't think I was at that last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So I think we
Yeah.
wanted to pick it up here because our commitment to Ray was to make progress on this, even if it was in piecemeal, to not be
Exactly.
reinventing the wheel, but to be reviewing
Exactly.
and having a schedule on review, approval, next section, review, approval, next section.
That's right.
Correct. At the board's last meeting, the consensus was to pick up at part 5, which seemed to have been the bigger holdup in all of them, and then
Correct.
review all of the changes again
Mhm.
before deciding on
Yep.
next steps.
Which we did on our own. I've reviewed it.
Yeah, so,
I mean, how
so
do
we
you-
can just break it out, part 5, 5.1, application. I don't think there was any. All full-time and part-time benefits eligible employees of the town. Not recognized holidays. Terms of holiday pay. There was a change that was presented. Holiday pay shall be granted to an employee provided that the employee is scheduled to work on the day of the week on which the holiday falls. And they're in fully paid status on the scheduled working day preceding the holiday and is in a fully paid status on the scheduled working day preceding the holiday. Is that twice? Okay. Any objections to that?
No.
Okay, done. Under vacation leave, 5.2.1, 5.2.2, the application and the accrual of vacation. Or are you vacation leave, you want to add leave, right?
Correct.
We're
To
gonna-
be consistent with the
Yep.
across the
Right.
board.
Yep,
Right.
yep, that's fine. All right, moving on. Then we have the accrual schedule A. And then we have underneath it, accrual schedule B. Ray, do you want to talk about A and B?
Sure.
And then we can take a vote on it.
Sure. Schedule A. So this is pretty much the same that we had discussed
Yep.
back in the spring, but accrual A is their current accrual schedule. The idea is that accrual B, following Schedule A's execution on July 1st, where we front load everyone's vacation time, beginning in the next fiscal year, we'll start the accrual process in August. So you'll be front loaded that time because we currently earn based on prior service. And then
Okay.
anything going forward for every 30 days, we'll do a monthly accrual.
Mhm.
Now,
Yep.
don't want to get everyone's hopes up, but this will be possible with the self-service module, which we might be making some moves on. I'll have an update next.
Oh, good, because that was,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm very excited.
You should be.
Yes, you should.
Everybody should be.
Yes, right.
So this accrual schedule will essentially be, everyone will be able to manage their time, go into the system and look at what's available to them for sick, vacation, personal. Anyone who falls in this schedule will be increasing time, eliminating that 2-week mark. It seems to be going by the wayside anyway across the market. But everyone will essentially accrue up into a ceiling. So you'll be able to roll over up to a maximum amount of weeks that would create a new ceiling for you or a new max accrual based on your years of service.
Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
I don't have any questions on that.
I don't either.
Okay. And this will be next year,
Correct. This would be for July 1st.
26,
Yeah, A's in play until B
26.
becomes in play to retire A.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay. That's good.
Or more specifically, A is in play until essentially August.
Yep.
And then August 1st, the accrual schedule kicks in. And so
Yeah.
you'll be front loaded and then you'll be earning on top of that
Mhm.
as well.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Any questions on page 4?
No.
Okay, so let's move on to the next page, which is page 5, 5.2-3, use of vacation leave. So we are deleting that first paragraph and adding 3 additional paragraphs. Talking about requesting vacation time and I don't have any.
Oh, it's, yeah, oh, it's approved.
Yeah, that's typical.
Yep.
That, I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary there. I think
No,
that,
this kind of, it expands a little bit. It explains that you need vacation time to take vacation time.
right,
It also gives a little bit more of rights to our department heads to be able to manage the leave cycles. If you're not giving ample notice, we can say no, depending on the needs of the
Yep.
department
Right.
and town hall
Yep.
operations.
Okay.
very good. And then 5.2-4, separation from employment. That first paragraph is replaced with the paragraph below. It's just essentially
Yep.
worded in
Right.
a better.
Which is basically just saying you're gonna get paid out what you've.
Right.
In
Exactly.
the event of that happening, the
Right.
payout is what's been accrued.
Right. The practice has been shifty as to whether or not it's been paid out, whether or not it's considered a wage, how it's been applied.
Right.
And, you know, there's, in the most recent update for this year, the board approved and put through to town meeting to essentially adopt the current practice, which is, or the practice that was before 2 years ago. I'm not really sure when it stopped, excuse me, to prorate the payout of vacation, which still isn't enough. However, I did get town council to say, try to implement it. And if we have to deal with it, we'll kind of deal with it. But if this is the intent of the board, let's move forward with it. So we are practicing that right now. We'll
Okay,
prorate
good.
anyone who separates up until that point.
Okay.
But the way that it's still written in Mass General Law and for our unions, it's a call for equity at this point to pay out our employees' vacation time when they leave. I mean, I feel personally and professionally, it's a common courtesy for someone who's
Agree.
leaving.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, I agree. All right, great, thank you. And then page 6, we have 5.2-5, which, we have, that's been stricken. And then an addition, of the accumulation beginning in fiscal year 2027. An employee will be able to accumulate and carry over vacation time from year to year based on the schedule applied in 5.2-2 accrual of vacation, which we just read. An employee, they will be able to accrue and accumulate vacation time up to their maximum accrued based on their length of service. Nothing new. So,
Not really. No, it just kind of brings in the new max accrual schedule of the
Yep.
accumulation.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I should have said 5.2 -5 death is absorbed into the prior section, separation of employment.
Okay.
oh,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, very good. All right, and then,
So on the top, we on page 7 yet, or am I?
not yet.
We're going there.
You're
All right.
you're going ahead.
No, I should have done sick leave, and I was part of 7. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I know, I'm just, you took out the holiday while on vacation, right?
Correct. We're not granting or taking away time for someone
Mhm.
being on leave during a holiday. They're on a paid status before and after, then they're eligible for the holiday.
Exactly. Uh-huh. All right, and then sick leave, 5.3. First, paragraph, 5.3-1. All full-time and part-time, benefits eligible employees of the town of Clinton, an employee will maintain their eligibility to earn sick leave time if they are in a paid status for the full month. I don't really have to read all that because it's
Yeah.
reiterated. So newly hired or rehired benefits eligible employees will accrue, but may not utilize sick leave within their first 90 days of employment.
Correct. That was at the request of this board to make sure that, I believe it was the practice, but it wasn't memorialized. So we went ahead and put that in there
Yeah,
during
we
the
don't want
probationary
anybody
period.
taking a leave during the first. Yeah. And then 5.3-2, accrual of sick leave. Okay, so an employee who has completed 30 days of service shall be eligible to earn and accrue the number of hours equivalent to 1.5 days sick leave per month. Credited to the first pay period of the month following a full calendar month of service and each month thereafter. Up to an equivalent of no more than 18 days per year of service. I think that's reasonable.
That's our current practice.
Yeah,
We just,
a lot of private companies.
it is.
Generous.
It's better than a lot of municipal.
Yes.
Guessing it
Employers.
is,
It's usually like 10 to 15 days. so
Right.
right.
It's a pretty generous package.
It definitely is.
The
Selling point when we're hiring.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The biggest difference here is right now, the current bylaw says we can only carry over 12 days or 84 hours for a full-time employee, which is an incentive to take sick time. So if you can only carry over 12 of your 18 days, that's incentive to take 6 days, 6 days during the year. When you don't
Yep.
necessarily need to, or you're going to lose them.
Mhm.
At this point, the
Mhm.
further updates, I'm sorry, as you get further into the proposed updates, you'll see that we're kind of absorbing that. We're taking that away. You're not losing it. You just have a max. You have a cap.
Yep.
That we're implementing.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on that portion? So moving on to page 7.
I'm good.
Let's see, employees hired prior to July 1st, 2026 will earn and accrue sick leave time from year to year up to the maximum equivalent of 360 days. Employees hired on or after July 1st, 2026 will earn and accrue sick leave from year to year up to a maximum equivalent of 140.
That
Correct.
basically memorializes like basically a grandfather clause, if you will.
Exactly.
Essentially.
You're right. So the update that went through for this year at town
Yep.
meeting was to clarify the 240, 360
Yep.
dilemma.
Correct.
Going up to 360 does increase our unfunded liability, especially for retirement purposes. We are very generous as a municipal employer. Most don't go beyond 100 or 120 days.
Mhm.
So my proposal is anyone hired after July 1st can get the max of 140 days.
Where's is it a different chapter? Where's the part where it says you can, it was last year, says you can have up to 360, but you could only, upon 20 years of service, you could then sell back only 240.
That's coming up in separation from employment.
So it's in here somewhere.
It's still in there.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of this I don't like, but I promised myself I wouldn't get all riled up, but I don't see the need to take, that's a big difference between someone that can have up to 360 and then on July of next year, telling a new employee they can only get to 140, but that's just my 2 cents.
But at least they'll be aware of that.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could be aware,
You know, it is grandfather.
I don't know.
I mean, fortunately, the people at the 360 existing will be able to
yeah, I'm
keep
just
that.
not in favor. That's me. But I just wanted to know if that was somewhere else.
It's still in the same place. Yeah.
I just didn't know. That's my only question.
And then the final paragraph there, I mean, that's standard statement.
Yeah, it's built out.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
we can actually take some action. We can uphold a
Right.
policy. Otherwise, it's just a statement.
Then 5.3-3, use of sick leave. An employee shall be granted the use of sick leave okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I did remove
I don't have any.
there's a very important distinction. Removed the self-imposed or resulting from alcohol or drug abuse may not be considered proper claim for leave under this section. Those are viewed as disabilities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and thus must be treated as such. So it would be unlawful for us to even keep that in there.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we don't want to keep that. So, down to, let's see, sick leave may also be granted to attend personal routine medical, which is standard. The next paragraph, an employee may use up to the equivalent of 10 days of accumulated sick leave per fiscal year to care for an employee's ill or injured child, spouse, parent, and so forth and so on. This provision for family sick leave allows for the use of accumulated sick time. That's okay. Where are you building in like, and I might be further down here, like maternity and all
There's a
of
new
that?
section for parental leave that's in there.
Mhm.
We don't have to require use of time for that, and
Mhm.
that's built out in the next one. But for the specific purposes of this and FMLA, which is your
I
general
was just going to
umbrella,
ask you about.
yeah, that's
FMLA.
included in this paragraph. So it's
Okay.
a general umbrella. Right now, we have another very generous policy where we're offering 10 days a year. Most employers stop at 5.
Mhm.
You know, the equivalent amount
Right.
of hours to care for your family. We didn't have those guidelines. We just had you have 10 days.
Right.
But we don't spell out what those guidelines are. We
Right.
do have to provide that under the sick leave provisions under the Commonwealth's Mass General Law. We're just defining it.
Now, do they get paid under that or is it a portion?
Which
or-
are under the FMLA.
Yeah,
FMLA is unpaid.
yeah,
Um,
but the
but we-
PFMLA.
PFML, we didn't opt
Do you
into
guys,
it.
oh,
No.
you guys don't?
No,
oh, the town
municipalities,
doesn't?
they have to opt in. Yeah, and it's usually,
benefit enrollment, right?
no, it's an
I
opt-in
think the whole
townwide.
thing, right?
Yes. So
Mm.
private employers all automatically kind of enrolled and start
Right.
taking those deductions. But
Right.
municipalities have to opt into it. And I think with their generous leave packages is what they really kind of consider before they go into it, because it is a cost to the employee also.
Oh, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Because they would get a portion taken
Yeah.
out of their pay.
Right.
Right.
But FMLA is an unpaid leave. It is protected. However, the town does require you to use that along with your paid leave, which we can do
Mhm.
until you go into an unpaid status, because the idea is to avoid going unpaid. And then
Right.
and it's still protected, so it doesn't matter if you do. The only exception to that is parental leave under Massachusetts Parental Leave Act. The first 8 weeks, the employee can decide whether or not they want to use time. We cannot force them. So that's where it gets a little dicey, but we do have templates that spell out exactly what someone needs to do when that happens.
Okay, good. And that's all legal, so I mean, we can.
Sure is.
Did the,
Sure is.
did, the attorney look at all that? Or no?
We have a FMLA policy.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, good. Very good. All right, then, section 5.3-4, separation from employment. Whenever, separation of employment occurs, payment or non-payment of accumulated sick time, in parentheses, sick leave buyback, will be determined as follows. In cases of involuntary separation, an employee shall not be entitled to payment of accumulated sick time. So if they're fired, they're not getting it.
Correct.
Okay. Hmm. In cases of voluntary separation, an employee with less than 20 years of continuous service shall not be entitled to compensation of accumulated sick time. Let me read that again. And then in the case of voluntary separation, an employee with 20 years or more of continuous service shall receive compensation at the rate of 20% of accumulated sick leave to a maximum of 240 days. This provision shall not apply to employees hired after that July 1st deadline.
Which ties it back to that other clause.
Correct. Okay. Really the only change is the additional sentence that you put tying it back to the July 1st date.
Correct.
And then an additional paragraph in cases of separation due to retirement from the town of Clinton, an employee with 20 years of credible service Now, how do you define credible?
So the retirement board actually keeps creditable service for retirement.
Okay.
The amount of time that they've been in a role contributed to receive full pension.
Mm-hmm.
So if, and the purpose of this paragraph is to recruit experienced municipal workers who have experience elsewhere, that if they come here and they have 5 years, 10 years left and they're ready to retire, they're not eligible for a payout or sick buyout. So this kind of incentivizes them to come in.
Got it.
The retirement board who does certify this when they hire them, if they do retire through the retirement system and they are certified to have got 20 years of creditable service,
Mm-hmm.
then, they're not going to get 240 hours. They're not going to get maybe even 140, depending on where they start in their career, but they'll get something.
Yes. Okay, good.
I'm sorry, days, not hours.
Right, right. Okay, any questions on that additional paragraph?
No.
On 5.34 or 5.
Um,
You're up at the top of page 8.
yes,
Yeah.
top,
Yeah.
yeah, number D,
So, and
not number D.
I know we talked about,
Leonard.
we've been playing around with these bylaws for a long time, and I understand the part about 20 years of service or more, you get to sell your sick time back at a rate, and I'm fine with that. But I really believe that we should look at prorating it. So if somebody does 10 years, maybe you go 10% or 15 years, whatever you do, because if you have, and I would also push for the grandfather, so I'm not looking for myself, because of whatever year I was hired, you could do it the year after that. But if you have someone that's here 10 years and they're leaving and they have whatever the number of sick days, now you could have up to whatever, 140, 100, so many sick days. They have nothing, they lose it, right? The better chance is if they know they're leaving, they're going to start burning it. I mean, let's be honest, who wouldn't? I would. So if you prorate it, I think it'd be better for the town. If you had 150 days and you're going to lose them because you didn't do 20 years, you start burning through it. Now the town, they can't replace you until you're done. But if you offer them 10% of that and they sell back, 30 days, it's probably the incentive not to just waste sick time. I know we could talk about, establishing a pattern and all that. But to be honest, it's, how long that's going to happen. If you just offer somebody something, I think you have a scale, you got them all over the place. 20 years and more is 20%, 10 years is 10% or whatever, just something. It may keep them from just burning through sick time. But I'm not looking for myself to get, because I'm not going to be here 20 years, so I'm not going to be self back. But do it at 10 years after I was hired or whatever, just something where you'd have, where you say the people can only have 140 days, they have less days, maybe give them, I don't know, just a thought. That's my.
I mean, I don't know if I would go any more below 10 years though.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just something. If you have that many days, it'd be very hard to leave that many days on the books and walk out.
I don't know, what's the committee?
I mean, I don't need an answer right now.
No, I can see both sides of it. I mean, Ray, what are your thoughts on the matter? Like would it give you an application as an HR lead, right? To say it would be more beneficial for the town to have that prorated amount to effectively act on whatever that next move is versus someone that might decide to Brendan's point, like say, well, all right, well, I don't get anything out of this, so I'm just going to take the next 3 months off and use my sick time, and they can't do anything about it because I have it.
Right.
Like,
Well,
do you have any
but-
thoughts on
I
that?
think we can do that now with 360 and 240. I think it's moot.
Yeah, but at that point, you've got 20
Right.
years and you're still selling. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the incentive goes either way, and at that point, we need to manage our staff.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, you could enter into a separation.
I mean, if
agreement at
you're
that point and figure it
leaving-
out, too.
I mean, we faced that issue with a retirement recently also. Someone who was ready to retire July 1st and found out they couldn't take their time, so they stayed on 5 weeks extra.
Yeah.
So they could
Yeah.
take their vacation
There's
time.
so many scenarios that you can
Right.
think of too.
That's just,
I mean, somebody could be here for 10 years and have to leave because of personal issues
Mhm.
and beyond their control, and they just can't complete their job anymore. And, maybe, I don't know. I don't object to putting the 10-year and prorated that way.
Yeah, maybe 5's too less, but even. if you
I
do
don't
10 years,
believe
right,
five, 5 is too short.
And even said like.
I mean, we want to keep employees.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you don't feel it gives you an incentive to exercise something that's in the benefit of the town and it's a moot point, then to me, I'm fine with keeping it as it is. But if there's
Me
an
too.
opportunity to exercise something that you think would be in the benefit of the town,
right.
to
right,
manage like, I don't know,
Right.
being, at risk of having an open position by someone abusing sick time.
Right.
Then I would want to put that fail safe in place.
Yeah, I
think-
think
But
we
I
have
think
that
you
risk
want-
either. We have that risk no matter what.
Right, exactly.
As long as there's a person in a role, you have. a
Right,
risk.
right, right, exactly.
I'm fine with keeping it as is.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Then,
As long as you guys feel that way, I'm not making a
I'm
decision for
fine
me.
with it,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, I'm fine with it based upon Ray's description of it.
then
So we're gonna-
in the cases of separation due to retirement, did we do that, D? Yeah, we just did that.
Mhm.
Um. Then the final paragraph E, does anybody have, I think we had discussed this already.
So I can't sell it back if I don't have 20 years, but if I die, then they'll get the money, so I guess we'll be good there. Right?
In the cases,
If I die short of 20
Yeah.
years, so that'll take care of it, right?
at the
My
rate of-
state will make out, I just won't get any.
The current policy doesn't give you a time frame on the number of years. If you pass, the
Right.
town is generous to your family. And I think it's a great benefit because
Yeah.
I've never read it before.
So I just gotta pass away in the next couple of years. It'll be good. I'll get cheated out of my sick time.
5.3-5, authorization of sick leave.
Oh,
No, yeah.
really? Okay. Does anybody have, is anybody opposed to any of the changes on authorization of sick leave?
I mean, it's pretty
Basic.
standard.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Personal leave, 5.4.
This takes it from a section where it was kind of bunched together with other leaves,
Mm-hmm.
brings it into its own.
yep.
So this is just a personal leave.
If someone wants to take a personal leave, this
It's
is
just
how they do
personal
it.
time.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives us, we have a practice. It's not memorialized on how we
Right.
give personal time based on when someone starts in the year.
So if somebody sends in a request to take a personal leave for 3 weeks, are they,
There's only 3 days that are you
Eligible.
get for personal leave time.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Other than that,
it's
they don't-
it's just essentially this
Wow, okay.
this is pulled up, so anything in bold is what the change is.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everything that's not bold was what the original text said.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see that we actually just end up putting a schedule to it as to when you can get it once you start in the
Mhm.
benefits eligible
Yeah.
position.
It almost gives you like a prorated against hire date,
Exactly.
essentially. You
Yeah.
get your personal day, but if it's certain, if it's this amount, you get 1, 2, and then
Right.
3 accordingly,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
which makes sense.
yep.
Mhm.
And I just want to say also blanket, a lot of these leaves have a minimum usage they had historically. If we move forward with the self-service system, we can move all of them to half-hour increments
Mhm.
to allow an employee to go down the street for an appointment without having to charge 2 hours of sick time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then the next section is bereavement leave, jury leave, leaves of absence, military leave. Um, Does anybody object to any of those?
No, it looks like you're given a couple of extra days in a
For-
bucket and then
which makes
drop it and then staying maintaining the 3 on
Yeah,
the second bucket, and 1 day would be as described. So if anything, I think there's some benefit to the employee from that perspective. Pretty standard, I would imagine.
yeah.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it was increased a little, couple of days. for the
Right.
Spouse change, because that was kind of slim.
Right.
5.5-3, jury leave policy.
Other than the number, it doesn't look
Yeah.
like there's any, no change there.
No change
No
to jury
change,
leave.
no change to the military leave policy.
Just renumbering.
Right.
For military leave, I'm looking for clarification on the town standing on it. We are kind of low compared to the kind of what can be federally adopted by municipalities. Private employers do have to kind of hold to this like 40-day starting on the federal fiscal year.
Mhm.
And I know municipalities can buy into it. I don't know when we adopted this, so if there's any update on this, I'll present it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So however, payment shall not be made to members of the National Guard when mobilized during an emergency. Why not?
I'm not really sure. That's why I said this kind of
Because
needs to
under
be.
any other ones, any other like Military Leave Act, any of those policies, National Guard is always always considered part of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure when this was adopted, which iteration of that
Mhm.
law they adopted. I know that they have to opt
Okay,
into it.
so
Is that why you're looking into it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
good.
to see
Yeah.
when we adopted it
Great.
or
Okay,
if,
good.
as far as I know, if this is an old practice and we just never revisited it, it's still legal.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I would agree, Joni.
Next section, 5.5-5, leaves of absence policy. Oh yeah, we can't do it. It's only 3 days.
Okay.
So it's up to the discretion of the appointing authority to decide whether or not somebody can take an extended leave of absence,
Correct. Unpaid.
unpaid.
Yeah.
Very specific.
And they're also considering coverage in their departments, right?
Well, the appointing authority would be the town administrator in our case.
Mhm.
So I would hope that they would be talking to the department head to consider what that coverage would look like. And we have provisions that we'll be visiting when we go over the rest of the bylaw to determine what temporary status is, seasonal status, et cetera, to be able to cover positions.
Okay. Okay.
And then as mentioned, personal leave is that new section that's up there.
Yep.
And this kind of, the next section, parental leave,
Mhm.
5.6.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That one is, that kind of spells out that question that you had.
Yeah.
And that practice.
Mhm.
Yep.
And is that taken right from the law?
It's taken right from our policy and the
Yeah.
practice, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Not verbatim, but yes. This is more about application.
Anybody have any questions on any of the sections on page 10?
No.
I'm good.
Alright. Then, section 5.7 on page 11. Contributory life and health insurance. Not really.
The only one I see on that is up on the second paragraph, which is policy. Current policy is the current, whatever, the town pays 70%. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's been probably said, it's probably been said 50 forever, but it is 70.
Right,
But I don't know what they pay for the life insurance.
50%.
Is it?
So this holds the town to a minimum contribution. We can contribute more,
No,
but at the very least, the town should contribute 50%.
right, but the town is, why wouldn't it say 70 if the town's paying 70?
I don't know who wrote this and
No,
why.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
looking at you like,
Yeah.
I think as long as we're changing, it should say 70 because that's what they pay.
Well, if the.
Well, we can't lock the town into that fiscal responsibility. If the town decides that they need to lower their contribution, they've already memorialized the 50%. I don't see that.
So they're providing a floor.
Right.
Is that right?
Oh,
So
so,
like if something were to
and
happen
just-
and budget got out of control
and
and they
they
need to
couldn't
find a
pay,
cost cutting measure,
Mhm.
they could,
they provide a floor 50%, but they could actually cut into that 20%
right. So-
as written.
Yeah, but
So
the-
you
in
could
every
change
town
the
contract,
verbiage.
it's written as 70, so why wouldn't?
But he could say, the town shall pay no less than 50% of the cost to ensure the employee and their qualifying dependents. Because where they pay 70.
Right, because where this written down, they could turn around tomorrow and say 50 and you've approved it as a town.
Well,
But
it's the
that's already
bylaw
on the
now.
books. It's already on the books.
I think my opinion is it's a mistake because they've been paying 70. There's no way they just upped it. All the town union contracts are written at 70. So I think they'd be in the same bind. If the money's not there, they'd have to negotiate them. Why would the non-union employees, they could just do it without I shouldn't say negotiating, but without even batting an eye?
I would ask legal why that's written. So
Yeah.
I would want to know.
I
legal
would-
why. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're right, if
Out of my depth here. I don't
No,
know.
but
I don't
if
know
it's-
why it's 50.
if it said no less than, it would make sense. But right now, it makes it sound like they're only paying 50.
Right, and if they want to keep it as an open where there comes a year when the town just can't pay 70%, at least we don't have to
We're
say
not-
we're violating our
Correct.
bylaws.
Correct.
But I think we need to reword that then.
Yes, that's all. I agree with you.
So no less.
Yeah,
So do that.
the town shall pay no less than,
I would just run it by
and run it by
Um,
attorney.
Yeah,
yeah.
we did 10.
Attorney Gibbons, yeah, just,
If it's now 70 and they want it to reflect the bylaw, then we're happy to change it as such. If the 50 is meant to be the floor to have that 20% fluff factor, if something catastrophic happens, then it is what it
Agree.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because the
What's
health
the intent of
insurance
this?
Yeah.
premiums are
Yep.
just
Yeah.
continuously
We're gonna take the
rising.
non-union employees, every one of them, and say, we're gonna take another 20%. You don't have,
Yeah.
everyone get.
Yeah, I think we should,
Just get some clarification of.
yeah, I
whether
would just run it by.
Whether it's a
attorney
typo or.
Gibbons,
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
what,
What's the intent?
because
Okay.
that is a definite disconnect.
yeah.
All right, then, what else do we have here? Awesome. So that takes care of, section 5 of the bylaws. Any final questions, comments, concerns?
No, thank you.
No, I don't know if this needs to be a motion, but I would just say, from my perspective, I would make a motion, Madam Chair, that outside of the couple of clarification points that we've asked for, that we consider the review and path forward on section 5 to be a closed item.
Okay.
So whatever's open, we'll carry open, but I'm not looking to go back and do that again.
No.
I second that
Okay.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so
Put me
we-
down as opposed.
That's fine.
No, and we can talk
Yeah.
about it later. I just,
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
there's just so many things in there I don't understand. But anyway, we'll move on.
Okay, yeah.
Let's just move on.
All right, so then we'll plan on doing the next section. Okay. And then, we have.
So on this last one, Madam Chair, this is the one, and I know it could possibly need to work, this form. This is the one that Christine gave us, that we were gonna work back then. And I'm sure just reading over it, I know Ray and I talked about it a little bit, there's stuff we need to add. I would just ask that we use this now, get it out to the department heads. And then, if we say, hey, wait, we should have added in, I couldn't think of a department or another, because there should be, and we just saw it with, to no fault of anybody with the senior center, where they came down thinking they're doing the right thing, then found out that they didn't go through the wrong.
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
give it to them, then we can at least, because how many grade things do we
Agreed.
had in front of us? And then if, you want to add this, or I have the actual, I scan this and send it to you guys, but I actual Word document that you can make changes to. So I'd like to just get it out there now so we can kind of alleviate some of the problems, the concerns that we
And
have.
I think
Yeah.
this is great because it gives clarification
I
for
do
like
too.
what we're discussing, because it's
Right.
it's the purview of
Yes.
our board to
Yeah.
have to approve
I agree.
reclassification in job descriptions, but it's not the direction of our board to
Right.
decide what it is.
Correct.
Right.
That's
They come
right.
to us and say, I want to
Approve
reclassify the ATA, and we go, okay, cool.
Why?
Is finance gonna fund it? Does
Yeah.
the select board
And
give
that's-
Ray direction?
Exactly.
Does Ray need it? And then we look at this and we go, okay, we got our direction.
So there you go.
There's a process in
And-
place,
And I think, yeah,
how we proceed with
Yeah.
that. So, and
No,
it's
I think this
consistent.
is good, too.
Yeah. again, if there's something to add,
Yeah,
we can
I
add it,
know.
but
All
anyway,
right, do
think
I have a motion
there's-
to approve this form as is? Or-
We're-
This form was approved in January of last year.
Oh, so we're
You
good.
don't need to-
Even better. Then Madam Chair, you absolutely have permission.
Yeah, I'll second.
So we did start using
To
it.
find this.
So now that it's located.
We have
everybody-
started using it.
Thank you.
Familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
And I agree, we do need this process written out.
Yes.
And, this got lost on the
Right.
wayside, so thank you for bringing that
To
forward.
drive
But
consistency.
it does I do agree though that it does need work.
Yes.
We're working on a personal,
Right.
myself and the treasurer's office on a personal requisition process or
Yeah.
personal action form
Yeah,
to see what we can merge. just,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
fine.
that's great.
Make it more straightforward because
Yeah.
we filled this out just for the chief's classification of his parking enforcement clerk. And this doesn't really, it's made for it, but it doesn't really fall in line with it also.
No. Or
So
at least it's stuck.
Yeah,
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 that's-
this is good.
Yeah.
Right.
Continue on. Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Next meeting,
My calendar out.
October
Oh, yeah,
14th.
vacation. It looks like all of October is blacked out or read it out.
You should talk.
October 14th.
Vacation.
October 14th.
this was decided at the last meeting. I put it on here just to double check and make sure it's on everyone's calendars, just in case.
Yeah, now that's good, right?
Oh, I'm free.
Oh, you free that with your one, your 101. Yeah, but only
Are you
from
not
5 to
free?
6.
I have, I mean, don't worry about me necessarily, but I do.
Jeez.
Huh?
I'll be at a field hockey game
Oh, okay.
in North Brookfield, so I don't think I'll be back in time for that.
Oh,
So, want to do the 15th? Then we want to move it to when? Well, we can't, well, the select board meeting is that
Be
night.
able to make it on the 15th.
If you keep it to Tuesday, so we don't have to worry about the.
Yeah, right,
conflict of
right,
the
right.
moon.
Oh, the
I
select.
don't know when they meet, yeah, but it is on a Wednesday.
Tuesday, the 21st, I don't have anything.
I mean, I could do the, can nobody do the 7th?
Oh, let's go back one. Hold on. I could also do Tuesday, the 7th.
I don't have a calendar.
Oh, I know that's only
Brandon.
4 weeks.
I'm
I
just-
could, yeah, I could do either the 7th or the 21st, either one, whatever.
I can do both of those as well.
Yeah.
I might
I
be
could
out
do
that
both
week of
of
the
them, too.
21st.
Might be out the week of the 21st.
Let's go 10 of the 7th.
So let's,
Say the 7th?
the 7th?
Sure.
And if we have to move it, we can.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah, because we can always move it. Oh, no, we can't because I'm gonna be in my own business the last week. So I can't.
City Day, June.
Yeah.
No, I just wouldn't
Fun,
have
yeah.
to go yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You run out of countries, did you?
Yeah, I said, yeah, it doesn't mean like I'm playing.
All right, are there any other items that need to be discussed? Okay, I would, make a motion to adjourn.
I know we can turn that.
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Okay,
Second.
motion,
See ya.
okay, adjourn.
Thank you.